Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And of course, there is transfer news to speak about, an update on Ugarte, McTominay also an update, Pelistri and Maxi Oyedele leaving Man United. And of course, we play Brighton at the Amex Stadium. In recent seasons, a very difficult game, but I think we might be a bit better this time around when we do play them. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like, let's get into it. So I'll start with the transfer news first. And with Ugarte, PSG and Man United are close to agreeing any type of deal, whether permanent or loan to buy option, but the details are being finalized as per Fabrizio and it is in its final stages. So Ugarte was again left out of the PSG squad for their match day this weekend, and that does mean that he is close to completing his move to Manchester United, as it is said by Fabrice Hawkins that the reason why he was left out of the squad is because he is due to sign for Man United. So a bit of a good update on Ugarte, the defensive midfielder that we know we need, and which definitely will be a very good addition to our squad to strengthen us for the season to come. And of course, with McTominay, he has agreed personal terms with Napoli, which leaves us in a position of having to wait for them to make an offer for him because they need to first sell a few players before they can actually put in a bid for him. But good news that he has agreed terms with another club, so maybe he might still be leaving the club before the end of this transfer window. And Pelistri and Maxi Oyedele have left for Panathinaikos and Legia Warsaw in Russia respectively. Two young players who has very good potential to become world-class players, but will not get the game time at Man United, which is understandable. For Maxi Oyedele, he had Toby Collier in his way. He's got Kobe Mainu, Mason Mount, Casemiro, and of course Ugarte, who looks like he is coming to Manchester United. So rather a good decision by Maxi Oyedele to go and get some game time on a permanent level. And maybe, who knows, he might come back to United when he is one of the players that we have expected him to become. The same goes for Pelistri. On either wing, there's very difficult competition for him. So, like Ten Hag said in his press conference, it is good for a player with high potential to go out there and play games and show exactly what type of quality he has. So, another two players out of the door, and who knows, we might hear a "here we go" from Fabrizio or a David Ornstein exclusive on Manuel Ugarte this weekend, perhaps maybe before the game. Who knows? Anything can happen within so much time between you watching this video and of course the game being played or the weekend being completed. But let's speak about Brighton for a moment. And of course, they opened up their Premier League campaign with a 3-0 win against Everton, and they were quite good, very good on the ball. Off the ball, they pressed quite intensely and were very dangerous on the counter attack and showed their qualities, which is not too different from a Graham Potter team or a Roberto De Zerbi. But Brighton right now, with their new manager, are certainly playing some good football, which is what you expect of Brighton in the last few seasons. But when we played against them at the Amex Stadium end of last season, we came away with a 2-0 win and we played quite well. And in that game, we did have Amrabat putting in a good performance, and we don't have Amrabat right now. And it's probably going to be Kobe Mainu and Casemiro in midfield the way I see it. I don't think Ten Hag is going to be changing the team too much, in my opinion, because he's trying to get his strongest 11 out there, but he's also trying to give players minutes in order to get them fully match fit to then have him start his strongest 11. So I think Ten Hag will probably go with the same team, but for me, I would have wanted Joshua Zirkzee to start, mainly because he would provide us with that deeper lying option, and of course having Rashford and Ahmad on the wings, and then of course bringing on a Garnacho in the second half. Maybe you find players breaking the lines, because against Everton, Brighton certainly had a very high line and almost were on the halfway line pressing Everton. And with all that space in behind, the likes of Rashford, Ahmad and Garnacho can get in behind and definitely cause problems for the Brighton defense. And I think we will create quite a few chances, especially on the counter, simply because we are going to try and play out from the back like we did against Fulham. And of course, Brighton will want to press us and try and win the ball up quite high like they did against Everton. So it is a very good barometer for us to see exactly how far we have progressed since the last time we played Brighton and how we've played against Brighton in previous seasons compared to what we did at the end of last season with that 2-0 win. The likes of Mutoma can and will cause us problems, in my opinion. You have the likes of Danny Welbeck, who is still showing his qualities of when he was at United, and maybe, like Mourinho said, we probably shouldn't have sold him, but these things happen. And he went on to shine at Arsenal, and he went on to shine at Brighton, which he is right now. And of course, their new signing, Minter, he is a winger that plays on the right hand side, but he certainly showed he's got electric pace, very good at dribbling, just like Mutoma, and can and probably might cause us problems. I do see Delo playing left back rather than Mazraoui, so let's see how he fares against a tricky winger, which is not easy to defend against, especially one that is unpredictable like he was against Everton. So for me, like I said, the two players I would want to start is Joshua Zirkzee and Matthias de Ligt at centre back, being the only two changes for this particular game against Brighton. But I don't think Ten Hag is going to do that. I think he might stick with Harry Maguire next to Martinez, just an opinion of mine. And I think he's going to do the double pressing pivot of Mount and Bruno up front like he did against Fulham. So that is basically the team I think he will go with. I don't think he will make a lot of changes, and he might not make any changes at that fact. He could start the exact same team that started against Fulham, and I don't think we'd have any complaints with that, because in the second half, we have the likes of Xerxes and Garnacho to come on the game like they did against Fulham and change the game. A bit of a tactical change. You have De Ligt coming on from the bench, should he be on the bench, as a bit of a defensive solidifier, better than Harry Maguire. So there are options for Ten Hag to switch and try and change his tactics depending on how the game goes against Brighton. But I do believe we're going to be much better than what we were, simply because of the caliber of players that we have available right now. You saw how easily Mazraoui progresses the ball even under pressure. And against a team like Brighton, who's going to try and press us, Mazraoui, Martinez, Delo, Mainu, they can find the passes to the likes of Bruno, Rashford and Ahmad, etc. and find the way through, which is what Ten Hag wants us to do. He wants us to dominate with the ball and play through the lines of teams regardless of how they press us. He wants us to keep possession of the ball, to be dominant on the ball, and to limit our opposition with chances like we did against Fulham. So I am certainly quite excited for this game, because I think we have the players capable of taking on Brighton. And again, these are the type of games we have to win if we want to guarantee ourselves a place in the top four, let alone trying to win the Premier League. These are the games we need to win. The games against the lesser teams that people expect us to win. It has to be 3 points. We have to try and get a clean sheet in order to build some type of defensive confidence, because if we have more clean sheets, the defense becomes more confident, they start trusting each other, and the play from the back becomes more comfortable because they know I can trust my teammate with the ball when I give it to him, even though he has one or two men on his back. I can give it to him knowing he's going to give it back to me, and we're going to progress the ball forward. That is the type of mentality that Ten Hag wants from his team. So Brighton is going to be a very good marker for us to see exactly where we are and how far we have come under Erik Ten Hag. I'm excited for the game. I know that you are too. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more about my opinion on Manchester United. Drop a like. Enjoy the game till we see each other again soon, Red Devils. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.